Good morning. Lovely to see you there. We miss you, of course, here in the studio. We're going to focus on Manchester City against Liverpool a little bit later on. How does Arsenal's draw yesterday, Gary, affect today's game?
I mean, positively for both teams, that it gives them an opportunity to emerge as the sort of nearest challengers, and I think that both of these teams in the back of their minds will be thinking, how do they stay close enough to Arsenal over the Christmas period and then going obviously into January and February to make sure that when it comes to March and that title running starts, that they're on the shoulder, because that's where Arsenal could start to feel the pressure. So this is a big game today in terms of establishing who out of those two teams can be that one that sort of puts pressure on Arsenal.
Gary, there are so many matchups all over the field that are so attractive on the eye. Erling Haaland against Virgil van Dijk being one. Who wins that battle, do you think?
I've got a feeling that, I mean, Ekitike up front for Liverpool, I think, will cause City big problems. Will Haaland cause Van Dijk and Konate as many problems? I'm not as sure. I mean, Haaland's been devastating this season and absolutely incredible, and you wouldn't put anything past him. But I've got a feeling today that Liverpool might just step up and that Konate and Van Dijk might just do a job on him.
Florian Wirtz, to the untrained eye, myself and most people watching, why is he finding Champions League football easier and easier to play for Liverpool than in the Premier League?
Just a style, maybe. Maybe he's more used to it. I think the Premier League so far, I mean, when I've watched Florian Wirtz, there's no doubt that in points in games you think, oh, there's a real talent there, and obviously they wouldn't have paid the money for him if there wasn't that level of ability. I just think sometimes he presents a little bit naive, and that seems crazy for someone, obviously, of that level of talent, but he almost in some ways sort of moves towards the ball too much. He isn't patient enough to sit in those spaces in between, you know, midfield and defence, and I just feel that if he just stands still a little bit more in the game, he sometimes drifts actually into positions that make it harder for him to get the ball in the Premier League. And I think that he's maybe trying too hard. And look, there's no doubt there's a real talent there and a real player, but I think in Europe maybe Liverpool are just suited more to it, and he's suited more to it.
And Gary, from one full-back to a couple, the full-backs at Liverpool have been a big topic of conversation. Do you think Conor Bradley, after what happened in midweek, has cemented right back down for a little while at least?
He needed that, Rebecca. Over the last few weeks, Arne Slot has given him the sort of role and said, look, go on, step in there, this is your chance. And I felt, you know, in certain games that I've watched him, particularly I think Chelsea away where he got substituted, I was thinking, oh, is he really going to step up here? But that the other night will give him an incredible amount of confidence playing against one of the very best in the world. But he needed that game. So that right-back position now, I think, is something that he can, hopefully, from Liverpool's perspective, go on from strength to strength. I think at left-back, they just have to go with Robertson. Kerkez is obviously not there. He's not in that sort of form at the moment that you can trust him. I think Robertson just as that steady sort of, you know, guiding light for them and sort of experienced player. I think keep him at left back, playing almost like as the third centre back, be a bit more solid there. Obviously, Bradley can establish that position, and they could sort out their troubles. And
just finally, who are you going for?
I'm going for Liverpool.
Ooh.
That's a big call, yeah. Not that there's any sort of will or want for them to win, but I mean Arsenal want a draw. But I think Liverpool today might just step up and go and do it.
Okay, what a week that would be. Gary, thank you so much. Enjoy the game. We'll speak to you soon. Our special contributor, Gary Neville, joining us live from the Etihad Stadium, City, Liverpool. He's going for Liverpool, Robbie. Why do you think he would be?
I think we saw over the course of the win last week against Villa, the midweek win against Real Madrid, that it felt like they were starting to come back to their old selves. They've almost gone a little bit back to type. It's a lot of the older players, probably plus Ekitike in at the moment. Mo Salah scoring goals again is a threat, and Liverpool over the recent years have lifted it big games when they need to. They got the moment. We saw the Szoboszlai goal against Arsenal. So when they've had to, they've found a way to step up. Although he thinks Liverpool today, I slightly fancy Manchester City.
Well, it's hard to back against Erling Haaland, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where I'm looking at it. I think the troubles for Liverpool at the back, they still exist. I like that Conor Bradley's trying, hopefully solidifying that spot, because then that frees up Szoboszlai to be in the midfield.
So where are you seeing the troubles? Maybe
well,
Konate?
I think Konate, you know, I don't think it's necessarily just Van Dijk against Haaland. I mean, Haaland, the way he peels off players, and Liverpool can play a high line, and the relationship with Shirky now, there's a connection there. There's a connection, and the way that he runs through it, we've seen lesser players get at Liverpool this season, and so for me, I just think it's a colossal sort of battle. But I also think the issue for City is it's all been about Haaland. In years past, you had De Bruyne step up, you've had Foden step up with, I don't know, 20 goals or 15 goals. That hasn't happened this season, so they're so heavily reliant on that one particular play.
Can I just pick up on that, though, that there's a bit of school of thought backs that Pep Guardiola, this isn't just reliance, this is a tactic. They used to do the false nine. A false nine was a midfield player who comes into midfield and joins in. This is almost the opposite. I call it the full nine. They're going the other way, playing on the shoulder, less passing, less of the combinations, more of a team in transition, but going direct into this guy is still as big a threat as you've got in the league.
And Liverpool want to play the high line, but
Correct.
Equally, that's exactly what Haaland wants too.
Absolutely, and you know, Cherky, Foden's hit a bit of form, Doku on the left-hand side, they're all people who can supply. They don't have to have those 10, 12, 15 pass combinations anymore. It can be a little bit more direct, a little bit more incisive to give the big guy the chances.
If Liverpool lose this game, they're 8 points, Tim, behind Arsenal after 11 games. Is that too much? Or are they still in it?
It's getting to be too much, yeah. I mean, this season I wouldn't rule anything out, but that feels like then you're going into the Christmas period where it's a two-horse race.
That's 5. That would be 5 losses back. Yeah. It's very rare for a champion to lose 5 games and win a Premier League.
So it's must not lose for Liverpool.
Must not lose, absolutely.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long, and for even more Premier League content from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.